Okay guys, in a few weeks we will enter the latest version of Zenless Zone Zero version 1.7. And as usual, there will be two characters that will be released in that version, namely Vivian, a character who has a beautiful face, and Hugo, a mysterious male character who is famous for his good looks. Well, according to the title you read in this video, this time I will discuss the full kit of Vivian, who is the first agent to have the Mockingbird faction. Will the presence of Vivian in the next update be one of the agents with the Anomaly role that can occupy the latest meta position? So without further ado, I'm Hoyostation and we will discuss Vivian's full kit in version 1.7. Let's do this. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough Stellar Jades? Here's a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 23% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 3,000 Stellar Jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50, totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Before we talk more about Vivian's full kit, I want to say that the information in this video is for a kit that is still being tested, so there might be some changes to the kit in the future. Based on the Drip Marketing 1.7 information that was shared some time ago by Hoyoverse, we already know that Vivian has an Ether attribute with Anomaly role. She has a new faction called Mockingbird, which means she is also rumored to be compatible with Hugo, another character from the same faction. As an Anomaly character, of course her kit will revolve around giving Anomaly and disorder status to enemies. But besides that, she has some super unique kit that will focus on charge points that will be obtained if you launch Chain Attack, Ultimate, EX Special Attack, or Assist Follow-up. I will explain that later, so please stay tuned. Let's first briefly discuss her base stat first. Vivian has approximately the same base HP as Miyabi, who has the same role, which is Anomaly. But even so, they both still have differences in their Anomaly proficiency, where Vivian has a lower Anomaly proficiency compared to Miyabi. Well, if we compare it with Bernice, Vivian's Anomaly mastery is much higher than Bernice, which is at 144 points, but has a similar Anomaly proficiency, which is at 118 and 120 points. Of course, from this base stats information, we can see that Vivian has the potential to become a character similar to Bernice, where she becomes an off-field anomaly that matches an on-field anomaly agent like Miyabi. Pretty cool, right? Okay, before we look at Vivian's kit, I will explain how it works so you can understand it better. Vivian uses two types of mechanics, charge points and enhancement effect. What are charge points? Vivian's charge point system is a special point that Vivian gets when she performs certain skills in her kit, such as using basic attacks while in ground parasol state mode, using chain attack, using EX special attack, assist follow-up, and also using ultimate. We can use these charge points to activate other skills, like basic attack or real branch, which will produce blooming attack. The number of blooming attacks produced depends on the number of charge points we have. After using this skill, we will get one enhancement effect for each charge points we have. So the next question is, what's the use of this enhancement effect? It works like this. When your teammates uses EX special attack on the enemy, the enhancement effect is used as an additional attack on the enemy in the form of blooming attack. Now if you understand how Vivian's kit works, let's discuss the basic attack, which has 4 versions. The first version launches 4 attacks forward and deals physical and ether damage. After the 4th attack, Vivian enters a mode called ground parachute. If you have charge points, holding the basic attack button after the 4th basic attack will enter a mode called floating state. For the next basic attack, which is called basic attack ground branch, if we press the attack button while in the ground parachute mode, Vivian will attack forward and deal ether damage and fill 1 charge point. When Vivian uses this skill, she will immune to attacks. If perfect dodge is triggered during this skill, it will provide an additional 1 charge point, so we get 2 charge points directly. And just like the previous version, if we hold the basic attack button after the 4th basic attack, Vivian will enter the floating state. Another interesting thing is that if we switch characters while Vivian is in ground parachute state, Vivian will automatically launch basic attack ground branch and we will get 1 charge point for free. Then for the 3rd basic attack, named basic attack real branch. This skill can be used if Vivian enters the floating state. This skill will launch a forward attack and with a blooming attack, resulting in massive ether damage. As I explained earlier, this skill will consume all the charge points we have when this skill is used. Each charge point used will add an additional bloom attack which results in ether damage and provides 1 stack enhancement effect. Just like the previous basic attack version, Vivian will immune to attacks while using this skill. And just like before too, when switching characters while Vivian is in a real state, Vivian will automatically launch basic attack real branch. The last basic attack is called basic attack off-field attack. When another character on the team uses an EX special attack and hits the target, Vivian will use 1 stack of enhancement effect and cause blooming attack on the target, which causes ether damage. This happens when Vivian is off the field, and the most enhancement effect we can have is 4 stacks. This skill is one of Vivian's most important kits because it allows her to launch a very powerful attack even when she is off the field. Of course, this kit lets us position Vivian as an off-field DPS. Next, we will move on to her special attack section. Like characters in general, Vivian has 2 types of special attacks. For the usual version, Vivian will do a fast attack towards the front which has a uniqueness where the damage from the attack given to the enemy has 2 types of elements, namely in the form of physical and ether damage. Just like in other kits, after using this skill and holding the special attack button, Vivian can enter the floating state if you have charge points. Then for the EX special attack version, Vivian will attack with a strong attack and give ether damage to the enemy and fill her 2 charge points. After this attack is triggered, Vivian will enter the ground parachute state and if you hold the special attack button, Vivian will enter the floating state. This EX special attack has a pretty good effect guys, which will give 2 charge points to Vivian which is useful for activating blooming attack. Of course, with this good effect on the special attack, we need high energy regeneration so that we can take full advantage of this skill, right? Next, we will talk about Vivian's chain attack, which is super cool. It will deal a big attack on a wide area in front and cause ether damage and charge 1 charge point. Once triggered, Vivian will enter a floating state that can be cancelled by holding the dodge button at the time the attack is triggered. And here's where it gets really cool. This kit works wonder when paired with Astra Yao, especially in the ultimate section. This makes the chain attack teammates triggered, so you can use this skill to the max. And for Vivian's ultimate, it's like a powerful ether attack that hits the enemy in front and fills up 4 charge points. After the attack is triggered, it will immediately enter a floating state that can be cancelled by holding the dodge button when the ultimate is used. I'd like to share a little insight into the awesome potential of this ultimate guys. When it's triggered, we instantly gain 4 charge points that we can use to unleash stunning blooming attacks. In other words, our charge points are immediately full charge just by using this skill. One thing to keep in mind is that this skill gives us maximum charge points. So it's best to use all of our charge points first so that the effect of this ultimate is at its best. Next up, we're going to take a look at her core skills. Now let's talk about the effect of her core passive. When Vivian gives a blooming attack to an enemy that has ether, electric, fire, physical or ice anomaly, they will get extra damage based on the ratio that's been set in her kit. The extra damage will be calculated based on your anomaly mastery, with a value of 10 for each point. So the higher your anomaly mastery, the more extra damage you will be able to deal to the enemy. Unfortunately, increasing your anomaly mastery status isn't as easy as just using the disk drive. The only way to do so is through the W engine, and one of the options is the dedicated W engine. On top of the awesome effect we just talked about, this core skill has another cool feature. If the previous effect is triggered from either attribute, the enemy will get a poisoned state, which makes the enemy receive ether damage every 0.5 seconds. This can trigger the anomaly attribute effect. This effect will disappear once the target is no longer in the anomaly state. Pairing Vivian with other anomaly role characters who are easy to give anomaly status such as Bernice is a great strategy to maximize this effect. And for Vivian's additional ability section, it will be active if there are other Anomaly role characters or characters with the same attributes as Vivian, namely Ether, on the team. When your teammates trigger the Anomaly effect of any attribute, Vivian will consume one stack of enhancement effect and give a bloom attack to the target. It also increases the effectiveness of corrupted damage and disorder damage caused by corrupted by 18%. I have to say, Vivian's additional ability is really something special, guys. Her ability gives bloom attack of the field whenever teammates trigger Anomaly effect on the enemy, which is great news for characters like Yanagi. On top of that, corrupted damage and disorder damage generated through corrupted Anomaly will also increase. So the more characters with Ether attribute on our team, the more we will be able to maximize the effects of this kit. Okay, don't forget that we will also discuss her MINDSCAPE, which unfortunately all of her MINDSCAPes do not have official names. For the effect of MINDSCAPE 1, Bloom Attack will provide 15% more damage, and when teammates trigger the effect of enemy attribute, it will make Vivian trigger Bloom Attack on the enemy. This Bloom Attack is a Bloom Attack that does not require any cost, meaning that we will not consume enhancement effect when the effect of this MINDSCAPE are triggered. This effect is great, but it does have a 5-second delay. And for MINDSCAPE 2, when the enemy is in a poisoned state, they will take 25% more damage from all attribute Anomaly effects. MINDSCAPE 2 is short-lived, but it's a great way to boost all Anomaly attacks from all attributes when the enemy is poisoned. And for MINDSCAPE 4, when Basic Attack Ground Branch is launched or when Perfect Dodge is triggered while this skill is active, it will charge an additional 1 charge point. When Basic Attack Ground Branch hits the enemy, it will consume 1 stack of enhancement effect and launch Bloom Attack to the target. This MINDSCAPE is pretty great too, because it will always boost our Basic Attack Ground Branch. We will get 2 charge points, and every time we activate Basic Attack Ground Branch, Blooming Attack will automatically activate. Isn't that interesting? And finally, MINDSCAPE 6. When you trigger the Bloom Attack range effect from the Basic Attack Real Branch, it will increase by a lot, and the calculation of Anomaly damage from the core passive will go up by 500% from before. So the effect of the core passive will increase a lot. And when you use Basic Attack Real Branch, it will consume all stacks of enhancement effect, and each stack of enhancement effect consumed will produce an additional Bloom Attack. MINDSCAPE 6 is great because it can boost the damage multiplier Anomaly from the core passive effect by up to 500%. So when you activate the core passive, you will see a huge spike in damage, and the MINDSCAPE's effect can boost the range and frequency of blooming attacks, making it easier to reach enemies in a wider area. Next up, we are going to chat about Vivian's signature W engine, which, as you might have guessed, doesn't have an official name yet. As you can see, the advanced stat of this W engine can increase the user's Anomaly proficiency by 90 points, which will perfectly match the kit from Vivian itself. And to top it off, it increases attribute Anomaly build up by 40%. When you launch Ether damage, your Anomaly mastery will increase by 20 points for 5 seconds, and you can stack it up to 6 times. And the best part, this effect can be triggered every 0.5 seconds. Even better, triggering this effect repeatedly will refresh the existing duration. The W engine is pretty amazing, guys. It increases Anomaly build up by 40%, which means that even though Vivian doesn't have as high of an Anomaly proficiency as other characters, her enemies will still enter Anomaly status faster. On top of that, this W engine can boost your Anomaly mastery by 20 points, which you can stack up to 6 times, giving you a whopping 120 point Anomaly mastery if you launch Ether damage. Anomaly mastery is a rare status, so this effect is really something special. And as your Anomaly mastery increases, so does the effect of the core passive, making for even more awesome damage output. What do you think? Okay guys, maybe that's all for now. What do you think about Vivian? Please leave any comments down below, and don't forget to check out my other videos because they are just as cool. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.